They're going ahead covering up the sock tile now. So this is that area where all the water was sitting this winter. So we went ahead, dropped the sock tile in there. There'll be a catch basin right on here as well. So that's where that catch basin will be. We'll kind of grade stuff to that catch basin. So all this topsoil dirt that was in this pile here, kind of using and grading it from the driveway underneath the sock tile here. So we shouldn't have any water issues this next year. That area should be taken care of. Any water sitting in there will go into that 6-inch perforated sock tile or the catch basin, run underneath the driveway. And as it comes underneath the driveway, it'll come over here into the ditch and then drain out to the road. This is the downspouts from this side of the house that drain from the corner over to here through that 6-inch tile. That's not perforated. We decided to do solid there. It is the next day. We are out here again. Look at the difference. All the topsoil that was over here in piles. Camera's taking time-lapse pictures, so those will be really interesting to see. But yeah, like I was saying, all the topsoil that was piled around the house here has now been spread up here. The septic field has been covered. The septic tanks have also been covered. Not gonna go in the house because actually right now they are priming the walls. So I really don't want to disturb them or mess up any of the priming job. Still need a little bit of topsoil here brought in. They're gonna use the truck. I don't know where they're trucking it from. Maybe these piles of dirt out here, bringing it here. But if we don't end up using those piles of dirt, I think they're just gonna go ahead and drop those in this low-lying area where the water used to drain out of the woods and head over to the ditch all winter long. Shouldn't have any water going that way now because we have that catch basin in the Woodsbury that is draining over to the pond, as well as the downspouts are all draining over that direction as well. Big pile of dirt that was there is now gone. Just looks so nice having this dirt all up to the house. It will go ahead and settle a little bit once we get some rain on here, but I think next week is July, so we got maybe a month or two yet before we're going ahead and planting grass. Before that happens, I need to get that shed in, so a lot of work that will be happening for that. I'll need to go ahead, make the 4x4 base, fill in with the crushed limestone, make sure everything's nice and level, and they can go ahead, bring the shed in. And then we can go ahead, start working on the irrigation system, doing the plumbing from the pond to the shed, and then from the shed, doing all the plumbing up and around the house. This is just a huge irrigation system. I'm not really sure of any ones out there publicly that are bigger than this. I'm sure there's been a couple professional companies that have made larger ones than this, but I'm not sure how many acres we actually are irrigating around our house. All I know is it is a lot. And then up here at the front of the house, just need a little bit more sand. They may go ahead and steal that sand that's in that pile there, truck it up here, because the sidewalk will be coming from the approach around to that garage door that still needs to be installed, and then up here to the front porch area. So that's where the sidewalk will be. Still need our stonework done. Little few pieces of siding that still need to go in there as well. It just looks so different with this topsoil here now and not having large piles of dirt all over our property. Driveway looks really nice as well. It's like just need a little bit more topsoil here in this area. They may go ahead, if we have extra, and just bucket it over from this pile, drop it over here on this side, or put it in the truck and dump it over here on this side of the driveway, and then spread it out here. We got at least about 10 to 12 inches of topsoil all the way around, so I guess that was a benefit of building in a farm field, is we definitely have plenty of topsoil, and if we needed more, we got a little bit of buffer room around the outside of the farm field that we could have stole a little bit more from and brought it over here. Garage doors look so nice. Love that black color. So yeah, very happy with all the work going on here. Finney Trucking is doing a phenomenal job. Our builder, Mark Hammond at Forever Built Homes. Check them out in the description down below. Highly recommended. And yeah, I will probably be out here again tomorrow or next week. Just kind of filming the last little bit of work going on here. It'll just be a little bit of this last topsoil spreading happening. And then back there where the pond is, a little bit of just doing that final digging out and shaping of the grade around the pond. You may have seen the guy, he's going ahead flagging this because hopefully our power is getting hooked up next week or in 2 weeks. Hope is hopefully next week that they can bump it up a little bit earlier, but if not, it'll be 2 weeks out. Once we get power here, things are gonna start happening really fast. They'll be able to get in here, use electricity, be able to install our floors, install our tile, and yeah, hopefully we are moved in here in about 2 months is my guess, but we'll have to wait and see. A lot of progress as always. It has been just over a year from the time of me filming this voiceover to when this was filmed. It is now just at the beginning of August when I'm filming this voiceover, and it's amazing to see how far things have came in a year. Yes, the house being complete, finished building was one thing, but there are a ton of other house projects, as homeowners know, that need to get completed. A lot of things on my plate, like putting the shed in, and now of course this year staining of that shed to make sure it holds up against our Michigan weather, as well as doing some of the landscaping around the house. That's actually what we just finished doing this weekend. We landscaped up there, that area by the garage, as well as between the front door and the garage. Put a nice Japanese maple in there, some barberries and some boxwood, so that area turned out really nice. But yeah, just kind of wrapping it up. We got just over a month until our baby girl is supposed to be born, so try and get this last minute stuff done, as I've said in the past, because when she's born, want to have a little bit of time just to relax and not have to do these house projects. In this video here, the drone's view, you can see Finny trucking going ahead, moving a little bit more of that topsoil from out where the pond is, and they were trucking it up near around the house where we needed a little bit more topsoil. Future videos coming up are going to be, like I said, the irrigation system install. That has been working great. We had a huge drought this springtime in Michigan, and having that irrigation system saved our grass. We planted the grass seed, Kentucky bluegrass, in the fall time frame, and that does need a little bit more water than types of grass like tall fescue. So being able to go out there and water from the pond was a huge advantage. Our pond does have a pretty high alkalinity, so I think that is raising the alkalinity of our soil a little bit, and the grass turned a little bit more yellow. I did send a soil sample into our local university though, so if that's the case, you can do stuff like add sulfur to bring that alkalinity down and make the soil a little more acidic. When those results come back, I'll share those with you, and that'll probably be another project. But so far, the grass has been growing great, filling in nicely. It did go a little bit dormant in that drought and turned a little bit brown. I did let it go probably a week or two without water just to see if it would survive that much long of time frame without having water. And yep, it popped back out of it fine and is filling in nicely. And the pond's looking great too. Still has a little bit of turbidity, a little bit cloudiness in it this year. It's actually not been this aqua color that you're seeing now in the drone view since last year at this time. Got to be from all the runoff, all the erosion that's happening around the pond. So as more of that grass fills in, I expect that to stop a little bit. Also encountering a couple of nuisance weeds, cattails, some other like nutsedge around the edges of the pond. So hopefully I'll be able to eliminate those. I know 2,4-D can sometimes help with that, and glyphosate also can eliminate some of that stuff. But kind of want to avoid using Roundup, as some of those chemicals, the other chemicals inside of Roundup, are not rated for use in or around water bodies. So that's kind of a little bit of the stuff that I have been working on. I'm cranking through editing these videos, as you can tell. So there will be one probably every week until I get caught up. And then we'll be at our current time. I think I do have some from this late spring yet to edit, but I think I'm going to work on getting caught up from last year, the house build, before I even go to editing any of those. Great shot of Finney Trucking dumping some of that topsoil down our driveway. I didn't even think they were going to do this. I thought we were just going to leave sand all along the edge of the driveway, but they went ahead and put some topsoil in there so that it looks nice. We haven't did too much with this area yet. It's just kind of growing some weeds and wildflowers. But our thought is to plant maple trees down the entire length of this driveway and kind of have our own little tree canopy forest. So in the fall time frame, we can have our tunnel of trees with those amazing fall colors that we get here in Michigan. So that's kind of our plan, and maples grow great in sandy soil, so it would work out really good. We do have a lot of maple trees up at my parents' house that I could just go ahead and dig out of the ground so that we didn't need to go and purchase all of those. But we did buy quite a few trees from Bay Landscape, put them out around our house. We have a tricolor beech tree, a ginkgo tree. We planted some tulip trees around the right-hand side of the driveway. Those are about a year old now. We put those in the fall time frame of last year, so they're doing great and filling in nicely. But here's a final shot of almost all the topsoil spread back around the house. It does look a lot better with the greenery, having actually grass planted around the house now at current day, but it has came a long ways in just a couple weeks of me filming this. Thanks for watching, and make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next videos I will be posting, and leave your questions, comments, and suggestions below.